At that point in time, Bitcoin wasn't sure about what it was. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the truth about how Bitcoin has been fooling you all this time. Now, as you know, on Bitcoin has been in existence since I think 2009, if I'm not mistaken, or 2011, something like that, but it doesn't really matter. But I want you to pay attention to this graph. This is the monthly chart, right? Now, if you realize, Bitcoin really only has, in this case, it has about 11 years worth of price action. And with that, it only has very few key levels, as they like to call them, right? Key levels. Now, that being said, the interesting thing is Bitcoin has now become a market. All the time Bitcoin was this cryptocurrency that you should hold and buy Bitcoin, and about 2 years, if it's not 2 years, about 2 years ago, decided to buy some Bitcoin and hold on to it, and I was right about it. It was right around the 1900 level or the 1600 level or something like that, and I was right about it, right? And I was very right about it, as you can see here, right? What is interesting is at that point in time, Bitcoin wasn't sure about what it was, right? Now, this is my opinion on what I think Bitcoin is, but Bitcoin at that point in time wasn't sure about what it was, right? Bitcoin wasn't sure if it was supposed to be a market or if it was supposed to be just this big buy or whatever. Now, in actuality, I think Bitcoin is just going to keep going up and up and up. However, now we have to stop looking at Bitcoin as a long-term buy, and now we have to look at it as a market. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is Bitcoin now is both buys and sells. And the thing is, you can't just say you're going to buy Bitcoin now and hope that, it's just going to go up, because you'll be very mistaken. The thing is, by going down on lower time frames, you'll actually start to see trends forming both up and down. And that being said, that is a market, because a market basically is an exchange between buyers and sellers coming together to create business. And if it has been only going up, it's basically an exchange only from the buyers just buying all the time, never really selling because they hold in long term. But the thing is, and the people who are selling are the people who are really giving the buyers the money, right? But the thing is, what I understand by Bitcoin now is that the fact that it is going down and creating little micro trends and sometimes even macro trends, right? Now we have an exchange between buyers and sellers coming together to create business, which is what we call a market, right? So what I think people get wrong about Bitcoin is now they are just looking at it, they're looking for the next big buy. And it might come, it very might well come. But now Bitcoin is almost the exact same as gold or any other metal or commodity or currency or whatever, because now it is not unidirectional. Now it has been moving, creating highs, lows, and all these different things. What is interesting, right, for me, is anybody who is only looking at Bitcoin for buys long term, they will surely be injecting their liquidity into the market, because you can't do it like that anymore. Especially when we're approaching it from the perspective of the fact that now it's two-sided. Both buyers and sellers can make money in this market now, because it is indeed a market, right? So I think Bitcoin has been lying to us, because it has been parading itself as this long-term buy, and it might very well be still a long-term buy. But the thing is, the most important thing with Bitcoin, even if it is a long-term buy, you now need to treat it like it is showing you signs of it being a long-term buy. Before, you could have probably just gotten in more or less anywhere, and if you had enough, you had enough of a position on Bitcoin, you could have held through the drawdown with the hopes that it would continue to go up. But you can't do that now. Now, it can actually trend in a bearish direction for months, weeks even. Now it is a market. So before it was parading itself in a manner that is synonymous with only buys, you cannot approach it like that anymore. And if you do, I can almost assure you you'll be losing money just like you're probably losing money on all the other currency pairs. Bitcoin is no longer safe, in my opinion, to only place buys. And I know that people probably saying, well, I used to sell Bitcoin. I see people selling Bitcoin all the time. This video is appealing to the masses who want to just come and look at Bitcoin. Maybe you're new to cryptocurrency, which is weird, but it's a thing, right? Maybe you're new to cryptocurrency, or maybe you're still not sure about what is your take on the cryptocurrency world. Bitcoin is no longer a safe buy. I mean, it never really was a safe buy, but it's no longer a sure buy, in my opinion. It can continue to buy, it can continue to trend upward, but you now need to make sure and understand that there are certain confluences and criteria that are alluding to said buy. Because if you do not, and you do not have a big enough position to buffer when it does go into a big bear trend, you will surely lose that position, and maybe even your account, depending on your position sizing and stuff. So that's how I think Bitcoin has been lying. I think it has been parading itself as a long-term buy all this time, when it has been slowly setting up itself to shift into a long-term market, rather than making itself steady as a long-term buy. Yeah? That's why recently, I mean, if you look back on my channel, you look as far back as maybe the first few videos, you would see that I took a position on a buy position on Bitcoin, and I was just bullish on Bitcoin all the way. And like I said, that was either a year or 2 years ago. If you scroll on, you'll see it. Scroll on far enough, you will see it. But between then and now, you barely ever hear me talk about Bitcoin, because now I've been trying to psych out what Bitcoin has been doing all this time, and I'm trying to understand what is Bitcoin trying to tell us, what is Bitcoin trying to show us. And basically what I'm seeing on Bitcoin right now, in my opinion, what I'm seeing is this is not a case for a long-term buy, especially where it is now, especially like looking at the 4-hour and stuff. And I'm only using these time frames to show you the bigger picture, but especially what I'm seeing on the 4-hour, yeah, this is more sells in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm definitely now telling you that just randomly placing a buy here because this is a previous low, placing a buy when it gets here, is a very dangerous thing to do. That's just my take. So that being said, I think I'm going to close it off here. I'm going to end this session, this video here. And yeah, if you like this, be sure to hit subscribe. Comment below, what do you think? What do you think about what I said about Bitcoin? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? All right. And if you like the video, be sure to hit like. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.